Joe Fan.
So, Bobby, I'm curious if you and KJ have had any conversations of what might happen beyond this year. If there's been any sort of conversation that this might be the last ride, where his head's at, and if you could imagine potentially one day not having him next to you.
Nah, we haven't had that conversation. I think we kind of just been focused on this year and trying to, kind of make it the best that we could possibly make it, and then kind of worry about the business stuff after. It's a lot of decisions that they got to make in the off season, things of that nature. But I definitely feel like KJ has done everything for this program. KJ has been, the perfect person, perfect teammate, and so I think whatever he wants to do, they should make sure that happens.
Can you imagine going out there? I mean, how weird would that be going out there without him?
I mean, it'd be a little different. You know what I mean? We've been playing for so long together, so it'd definitely be different. But it's a business, so at some point it was gonna happen.
Ben.
What's good, Bobby?
What's up?
How have you seen Puna Ford develop over the last 3 years? It seems like this year, especially, he's become like an every down type of guy for you guys.
I just think the biggest thing area I feel like he's grown is just understanding the leverage on different guys and how to really use his body and get in the backfield. I think that's just been the thing that stuck out to me. I feel like when he first got here, he definitely kind of was doing that. It was more instinctive, and then I think the IQ of that has been able to allow him to make the plays that he's been making and be in the backfield. He's been great, and love playing behind him.
And just kind of follow up, on Puna, like, what do you think makes him so lovable? I mean, Coach Norton the other day was saying like how he's like a, yeah, like you saying like he's a coach's dream. Like if you was in a dark alley, you'd want him by your side. It seems like Seahawks Twitter is kind of really rallied behind him. What do you, from your perspective, what kind of makes him so likable? Maybe as a teammate.
I think it's his personality. He's quiet, but he's one of those guys. When he starts talking to you, he's really funny. And then, like Coach Norton said, he's a guy that has your back, regardless. So he don't have to say no words. The moment that you want him to, ride with you, he does. So I think that's just him. He don't talk much to you guys, I don't think, but like when he talks to us, he always cracking jokes, always, having fun. My locker's next to him now, so I get to, give him a little something every day. So it's good.
Thank you.
Bob.
Yeah, Bobby. I know we sort of ask you every week about the defense, but holding the Jets to 3 points and just kind of playing the way you did. Did you feel like that was another really good step in the right direction for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, I think everybody had an expectation of how we were supposed to play, playing the Jets. And it's one thing to have an expectation, it's another thing to go out there and do it. And, that's a professional football team on the other end. And so anytime you hold a team to just 3 points is something that you can, hang your hat on. So I think we're growing every week. We're getting better every week. We're getting more connected every week. So, I think we'll continue doing that. It's going to be fun to watch.
John Boyle.
Yeah, Bobby, we've talked to you in the past about with the tackles and everything about consistency. But from a team standpoint, since you and Russ got here in 2012, you guys have never had a losing record. Just how much pride do you take in that year-over-year team success you guys have had with all the different changes, but still being a winning team?
We take a lot of pride in that because I think that was the one thing that I think our group, talked about when we first got here. Not that they hadn't, established a winning culture before we got here, but a 2012 class, just us having that expectation that it was bigger than just the individual stats. We wanted to come in and be a group that they can pinpoint and say, we helped change an organization and turn it into a winning program. So every time we do that or every time we have a winning record, I think it's just a reminder of something that we set out to do.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Bobby, can you think of a specific time where Mo Kelly really helped you out or came through for you?
Um, Specific time, it could be a lot. I mean, he always helps me out. Mo Kelly's always been great. I think the one thing that I can think of was my car got broken into. I think in like 2013, 14, and he was able to help me get my my windshield changed by 6 o'clock in the morning. So, I think just little things like that, I think, is the big things, is knowing that, I can call him at no matter what time it is. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning. He'll pick up the phone and try his best to help. So, he's big time for this program.
Somebody smashed your windshield?
Somebody broke into my car. Yeah, smashed my windshield, stole my backpack, all that.
Where was you just at the crib or something? Where was your car at?
Nah, I was in Seattle.
Thanks.
Masvita.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby. Question on a couple players. The return of Shaq and then Ugo Amadi. I don't get to see him, but he just seems like an assassin out there, and just his aggressiveness and how he plays. What are you going to talk about both of those players?
Well, having Shaq back is huge. I think you watch it on the last game when they throw the ball up and he bats it down and he's dancing and celebrating, and just that swagger, that confidence that he plays with. Just knowing you have a corner like that on your team is a blessing. And Ugo's just, he's just extremely smart. And I think, the position that he plays at nickel is you have to be extremely smart, not only from the pass perspective, but, teams try to get you in the run fit, and he's not afraid to get in the run fit. He'll come in and make tackles and make plays. And so, I've enjoyed his growth since he's gotten here.
Thanks.
Curtis.
Yeah, Bobby, you played against Greg Olsen seemingly every year you guys would play the Panthers. Now that he's been a part of your roster here, he's been hurt and working to get back the way he has. What stood out to you most about him, the player that he still is at 35, and what he's brought to you guys this season?
I think it's another veteran presence. I think the biggest thing that he's, shown us, I think, is how to be a professional. I think he comes out here, warms up and gets his body right before every practice, and just that level of detail, that level of focus. He comes out and catches balls before he goes out. And so I think it's something that the younger guys can look to see, this is what a professional looks like. But also, guys like myself, to see a guy, 35 or whatever, these are the type of things that he does to keep his body right so he can perform at a high level, is something that you can take from.
What's it like to still see that want to from him 14 years into his career, coming off another foot injury 2 years after he had the same thing with the other foot, to get back to you guys right now?
It's definitely, it's inspiring for sure, because you seeing anybody could just, he's had a great career. It's been 14 years. Anybody can just walk away and say, I've accomplished what I need to accomplish. But to see him fight back to try to get out here and do it right, I think it's definitely impressive.
Jackie.
Sorry, I had to find the mute button. What's up, Bobby? How are you?
Up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks. You obviously played Ron Rivera a ton when he was with Carolina. What are some of the hallmarks of offense run by Ron Rivera?
I think you're definitely going to get some misdirection runs. I think they like to get the ball out of the quarterback hands quick. They like to utilize the running back, a lot. So I think you saw that with McCaffrey, and I think you see that now with JD. They line up JD at receiver sometimes. And so I think those are the biggest things. They like to get you a little bit of misdirection on the run game. They like to get the running back involved in the pass game. And then they're going to have a few different passing concepts that go against your cover threes, your cover fours, and things of that nature, something that you may not have seen on film. And so you just have to figure out which play that he's ran over his period of time that he likes versus our defense.
You mentioned McKissick obviously spent time here, but what have you seen from him? He has more receiving yards than rushing yards right now.
I think they're just using him all over the field. I think they're using him in the backfield to try to create matchups. Like I said, he can line up outside. They line him at the slot. They line him in the backfield. They literally put him all over the field, and they try to get the ball in his hand and make plays. And so I think, he was great while he was here. He was a great teammate, one of the funniest teammates. And, to see him out there doing his thing is definitely fun to watch. But hopefully he don't have a good game on Sunday.
Thank you.
Art.
Bobby, when you've had a number of games with Carolina when Ron Rivera was there, the Seahawks and Panthers played a lot of low-scoring slobber knockers. Was there any characteristic that stood out to you about the Carolina under Rivera?
About the slobber knockers? What was that? What did you say? What stood out to me? I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was his teams are always well coached, and they always they're very gritty, and so they're going to do whatever it takes to get the win, whether it's run the ball, whether it's pass the ball, whether it's be physical in the run game and things of that nature. I think that was the biggest thing. Our games were always, like you said, low scoring games, or we had the game in I think it was like 2015-16 where they kind of came out on us really quick, but we came back. So you kind of don't necessarily know what to expect, but they're going to be well coached and they're going to have a lot of grit.
And Brady, question for Bobby?
I do have a question for Bobby. Yeah. About KJ and the transition that he's made from the weak side to the strong side. What have you seen there? And also, did you hear any of the fight that he apparently put up when Ken Norton Jr. tried to move him there?
The fight to move him there?
From weak side to the strong side, yeah.
Well, I ain't going to really talk about it. I don't think they fought about it. But KJ's always been so versatile since he's been here. When I got here, when I was watching film, he had played Mike. But when I got here, he played Sam and then went to Will. And so he's been, kind of a person that's been able to you can put in any position, and he knows every position like the back of his hands. Like I said, he's one of the smartest teammates I've ever been with. And so the transition, obviously, he wanted to play off the ball and things of that nature, but, I think he wants to do what's best for the team, and he made that transition, and he's blossomed like he normally does. No matter what position you put KJ on the field, he's going to do great at it. He's going to figure out a way, and he's going to make plays. And so that's, what I've seen. I knew that no matter what position they put him at, he was going to blossom and do a great job. And so, seeing him make the plays, I didn't even know he had a one-handed interception in his repertoire, but it's been fun to watch him make plays. Last week he had 2 great tackles in the backfield. So he's just a baller, a playmaker, and that's the thing. No matter where you put him on, he gonna ball.
All right, last one for Bobby. Greg Bell.
Hi, Bobby, what was he like as a second year, I guess by the time you got their second year player, before he was a dad, those kind of things? What person of guy was he early?
KJ? Yeah. He was pretty the same, low key. It wasn't. Yeah, he was kind of like an old soul at 22. He was listening to a lot of older music. He didn't know any of the young music that was coming out. He made me feel like we was like 8 years apart, but we was only 2 years apart. So, but he's a guy that took me under his wing. You know what I'm saying? He wanted. He knew what I was going through, and he had just went through it. So it was easy for us to connect because, what I was getting ready to go through wasn't so far removed from him. He literally just went through it. So he was a guy I can lean on, pretty easy. I had to get him into different music like Kendrick Lamar and different music like that. He was from the South, so he only listened to Boosie. And so, I expanded his mind, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's grown from that.
How old was his music? Are we talking 60s, 70s? And
man, I don't know. It was pretty old. So you should ask him about it when you get a chance.
All right, thank you, Bobby.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks, everyone.